Perfect time to start. We can get straight into the nitty-gritty on record. So we're recording now. But guys, I want you guys to really, really think about your ideal day right now. Your ideal day. What does that look like to you? What is your ideal day? Every single person's ideal day will look sometimes worlds apart. There could be some similarities in there, but it's your ideal day. It's not you and your partner's ideal day. Don't factor in what they would like to do as well. Think about just you. What are your values? What would you love to do just for this call, right? Because I want to let you guys know that we can forget about our ideal day. We can get caught up in the ongoings of life and the achievements that we need to do and the things that we need to get done and the to-do lists that we need to tick off. And we forget that really the point of what we're trying to achieve, I believe, in our work life and our professional life, is we're trying to get to the point that we can live our ideal day every day. Would you guys chuck a yes if you agree with what I'm saying there? That yes, that is what we're working towards. Yes, that is what we're trying to achieve in our careers, in Isogenics even. You know, whether we're doing this part-time, full-time, we're wanting to accumulate either this part-time income supplemented with our full-time gig, or if this is our full-time gig, we're wanting to work to achieve our ideal day every single day. Now, what are two key things that we need, and you guys can all write down, what are two key things that we need to achieve our ideal day? What are two key things that we need to really have our ideal day come into fruition? Time, consistency, and imagination. This is going to be different. There's no right or wrong answer. Just want everyone to jump in and really have a look. Some people, it's just straight up money. Yeah, time and money, time and income. Yeah. So I believe, personally, and again, there's no right or wrong answer, I believe it's time and money. If we had abundance of time and we had an abundance of money, we would be able to live our ideal day every single day. Would you guys agree that's pretty spot on? And yet, I was just having a chat with this beautiful guy, Alex, who's on the call. Hey, Alex, mate, I can see you there. Hey, brother. Me, Alex, and Annalise were on a call tonight, and we were talking about this, this ideal lifestyle, and it was time and money, right? Time and money that we needed to achieve it. And guys, I only gave you a short amount of time to really think about your ideal day, but I just want to run through a broad spectrum just so we can really get on the same page here. When you think about your ideal day, how do you want to wake up? How and where do you want to wake up? Do you want to wake up in the place that you're currently sitting in right now? Do you want to wake up in a different country? Do you want to wake up in a massive bed? Do you want to wake up in a single bed? Do you want to wake up by yourself? Do you want to wake up next to someone? Right? How do you want to wake up? Oh, let me just mute that person. How when you wake up, what thoughts do you want to come into your head straight away? When you open your eyes and you're in that place and you're next to that person or you're by yourself, whatever, what thoughts do you want to be the first things that you think about in the morning? Do you want to wake up excited? Do you want to wake up content? Do you want to wake up refreshed, I saw someone say? Right? What thoughts do you want to come into your head? And then what do you want to fill that morning with? What do you want to eat? What do you want to nourish your body with? Right? Straight after you've eaten, what do you want to do? Is there people you want to see? Is there an activity you would love to do? Right? There's not many moments in life where we really think about our ideal morning, or we give ourselves time to really think about it. Right? What about lunchtime? Do you want to spend your entire day in the same place, or do you want to wake up in the morning and be here and then go here at lunchtime and then be here by the evening and then finish in a completely different bed somewhere else next to that same person that you woke up with? Right? It can be anything. right? And it can change. Your ideal day can look like that on Monday, and then on Tuesday it can look like this, and then on Wednesday it can look like this, and on Thursday it can look like this. It's not the same day every day. You wake up and you've got the same bed, do the same thing, eat the same breakfast, and yes, it was exciting, but then it becomes mundane because you're doing that same ideal day every single day. Can you guys agree that that would start to get boring? And so it's constantly going to change. And guys, I want to really fill you in on my reality, and I know that this will probably hit home for some of you guys, but I used to wake up 4 or 5 years ago, and the first thing I would think about was how crappy this tiny bed is that I was sleeping in. I hated it. It was smaller than single. I don't know, it was like a child's bed. Then I would get up, and the first thing I would think about was how I hated that I was wearing the same. I had like a couple of different pairs of clothes, right? And I would hate the clothes that I had, the lack of variety. And then I would think about, I don't have any money to go and spend on more clothes. And then I would start to worry about bills. And then I would start to worry about the things that I didn't have enough money for. And then I would wonder if I had enough petrol in the car to get to work. And then I would think, I haven't left enough time to get to work and get petrol on the way. So I hope I'm not going to run out of petrol on the way to work, because that would suck. And then I would get to work and I would be anxious because there was people at work who I didn't want to talk to. I'd be anxious because I was out of integrity with my boss from something that happened months ago, and I hadn't dealt with it powerfully. And so it was just looming and lingering in my life. And there was just this constant feeling of a lack of enjoyment in my day when I woke up, and I was just constantly thinking about Friday, where I could at least just get a little bit of a feeling, right? So that was my life from Monday to Friday. Whenever there was an option to work Saturday, guess who said yes to working Saturday? Me. Why? Because I needed more money to be able to pay for the bills that I was behind on and that I had already spent. I was spending money before I was making money. So my money that came in was already allocated elsewhere, and there was never enough. Right? Then the weekend would come. I don't drink, but I would be spending I would have fleeting moments in my weekend where I would forget about the stress, and I'd be hanging out with some friends or some people that I enjoyed spending time with or doing an activity. And then come Sunday, that anxious feeling would creep back in because I knew that Monday was around the corner and I'd have to do it all again. That was my reality for so long, and I wanted out so freaking bad, and I had no answers. I knew that there was something out there, but I had no answers. I knew how I wanted to feel. I didn't know how to get there. I knew what I wanted. I could tell someone what my ideal day would look like. Yeah, I knew that, but did I know how to achieve it? No. Was it pie in the sky thinking? Yes, I thought so, because it was so elaborate. I didn't want to have a boss, nor did I want to have employees. So I wanted this like random flexibility where I could like control my own day, but not have a boss and not have employees to worry about, because employees bring stress and I didn't want to have that responsibility, right? I wanted so much freedom of time that I could just wake up and do whatever I wanted, right? And I still wanted to succeed financially. So I wanted someone to be able to pay me this massive income, but I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted. So I wanted something to pay me so that I could just do whatever I wanted. And then I would wake up, and my ideal day, because I'm so spontaneous, would look different every single day, would be filled of different things, seeing different people and experiencing different things. That's what I dreamed about. If someone asked me what your ideal day would look like back then when I was in that mundane feeling of life, I'd be able to tell you with a click of a finger. Did I know how to achieve it? No. I had no clue. Did I think that there was something out there? I'm sure that there was. Did I know what it was? No. Did I understand that there was people out there that were living my ideal day and they had achieved it somehow? Yes, I knew it was out there. I saw it on YouTube. I saw it on Instagram and Facebook. Did they tell me what it was? No, I never knew. Those people I would reach out to them. I'd say, hey, just want to talk to you about what it is that you do. Never message me back. Why? Because they had millions of people following them or whatever. And my message in their inbox probably just got lost in the abyss of all the other people trying to figure out how they'd achieve what they'd achieved. Is this, chuck a yes in the chat if this is like remotely relating to any one of you guys. Chuck a yes in the chat if you are picking up what I'm putting down here, or we're swinging from the same tree, so to speak. Because that was me 4.5 short years ago. That was my reality. No one ever asked me what my ideal day looked like. I dreamt it in my own mind and no one gave a crap. And I held on to that dream. Then I got an invitation to go to this thing, and it was an Isogenics event. And I sat there, and the first question they asked was, close your eyes and imagine what your ideal day looks like. And I sat there at that event and I pictured it. And then they showed me how to achieve it. And then they gave me the roadmap of how to make it happen. And they said that if you do A plus B and C, if you do these things, you can get to here, which equals your ideal day. And imagine a 23-year-old guy that was my reality was stress, anxiety, and a lack of fulfillment, always dreaming and hoping and wondering if there's more out there. Imagine me sitting there at 23 years old hearing that. Guys, every single one of you, all of you, doubling up on the screens. I have no idea how many people are on this call. You've all heard it. Someone's told you about Isogenics and someone's shown you what's possible. And here we all are on this call. Are you willing to harness and be present to this opportunity in amongst all the things every day that life throws at you? Your boss throws at you, your kids throw this at you, your week is just overloaded with stimulus and things and to-do lists that we can forget what we've got in our hands here is this vehicle to allow us, to give us an abundance of time and money at the same time. And all we've got to do is do A plus B equals C over and over and over again, which is talk to people, get them started, show them the vision. Talk to people, get them started, show them the vision over and over again. Talk to people, get them started, show them the vision. And you will get better and better and better at that through repetition and consistency. I was sitting there 4 years ago and I was smart. I was smart enough to understand that when I walked out of these doors, the opportunity was always going to be there, but I had to keep it alive. I had to do that. All 51 of you and plus all the people that are doubling up on these screens, it's up to you guys as individuals to keep that opportunity alive in your day-to-day life for yourself. No one can do it for you. No one can keep that possibility alive for you. Only you can do it. And I knew that. I sat there and I was smart enough. I hadn't even started yet. I hadn't even ordered my pack yet. And I knew that when I walk out of these doors, this room and this energy isn't going to exist anymore in my day-to-day life. I'm still going to wake up in the morning and I'm still going to be in that crappy single bed that was smaller than single. I'm still going to wake up and I'm going to have to drive to work. I'm still in the same situation, but I've been shown this opportunity. And I have to keep it alive. I've got to keep the energy. I've got to keep it real for myself, because if I don't, it will disappear. And if I don't, I will forget about it. And if I don't, it just won't happen. And so for the first 2 years, I brought the flame, I brought the energy, I brought it to life. I came to the table every day with the opportunity in my hands. I woke up in the morning and I was freaking pumped. I was pumped about it. Was it real? Was it like a tangible thing? No, it It was an app in my phone that was my back office, and there was a box of products that turned up. That was real. But nothing else was alive. Nothing, there was nothing. I had to create it. All of you guys have to create it. You've got to be willing to create it every day. You've got to wake up and go, is there anything happening in my team? Some of you may not have a team yet. Some of you may have 1 or 2 people in your team. Some of you may have 10. Some of you may have 50, 100, whatever. No matter where you're at, this is relevant to all of you guys. You've got to look at your team. You've got to create it. You've got to go, I need to get this to the next step. I'm not at where I want to be. What can I create? Who can I excite? Who can I talk to next? Because it isn't the beautiful part of it, and what makes it so freeing is that there's nothing that we need to hold on to. We don't have any brick and mortar to remind us that this is real. It's just an app in our phone that if our phone's turned off, like it's just not there. It's like, this is it. But it's real up here. And that's why I'm speaking to you guys about this for the first, part of this call, is because I want to remind you guys. I don't just want to jump in and give you the logistics of what's coming up in November without reminding you guys of why you're doing this, right? Why we're here, why we jump on these calls every week, why we show up. I want you guys to remember this for yourselves, because this is like the secret source of consistency right here. This is it. This is how it happens. This is how you keep it alive. Like you have to take responsibility for waking up excited. And don't get me wrong, like there was days when I didn't wake up excited, and I had to create it out of nothing. No one was going to anoint me that day and say, be excited right now, as of now you are excited. No, I had to anoint myself and remind myself of everything that's available in this. And it started to grow. And as it started to grow, I realized that I needed to turn up even more so. I had Isaac looking at me. I had Josh looking at me. I had Sam Anderton looking at me. I had Rachel looking at me. I had team members now that were looking at me and they had a radar of how hard is Adam going? How excited is he about this? What is he doing? Because that's the only reference that my team had. And you're the only there's plenty of us now, but you're the reference for your team. They got started because of you. They didn't get started because of some Isogenics millionaire somewhere. They didn't get started because of me. They got started because of you. You're their reference. You're their inspiration. I now saw them, and I saw the lack of confidence in their eyes. And I saw that they needed me to turn up. And so I did in my first year. There was a lot of turning up on days when I didn't feel like it for them. Then they grew a team, and they felt that responsibility, right? And the dream started to unfold. And now, as a light at the end of the tunnel, even though the tunnel is still being built and we're still going, yesterday, let me just fill you in on the day. It was just a yesterday. It wasn't a plan for this call. I didn't know I was leading this call up until today, but I'm just going to tell you guys. We brought a car. Some of you may have saw the post on Facebook. We brought a car. It's a 1974 Jag. The V8 engine. It's a beautiful car. We woke up that day. It was a beautiful sunny day. We had our shake. We cheersed an e-shot, and we said our gratitudes. Bianca and I, we said our gratitudes of everything that we're grateful for. We do that every morning. I woke up next to B, and we went for a drive. We went out to a cafe. We had a beautiful feed where we talked about more things that we're grateful for and how beautiful our country is. And then we came home to our sunny house, which was warm and filled with sunlight. We had our second shake after lunch, and we sat down. And I said to her, what do you want to do? And she said, I don't know. I said, shall we take our new car and drive to Queenstown and go to one of our favorite places, Fergburger. And she said, okay. So we jumped in the car and we played some tunes. And then we got bored of the tunes because it was the same songs. And I remember Eric Worre saying, how many times do you need to learn a song? How many times do you need to learn a song? Why don't you just play a podcast? Why don't you play a podcast so much that you can recite the entire podcast? And so I told Bianca, and we played podcasts all the way to Queenstown for 2.5 hours in our car and turning heads. It's a beautiful car, and we're turning heads, and we were like, wow, even though we love our van doesn't turn heads like this. This is beautiful. And we rocked into Queenstown and we turned the car off. We went and stood in line for Fergburger. We had Fergburger. We networked with all the people in the line. We met people. We were having a great day. We did a call. We got interviewed from Queenstown randomly, so we could do it from anywhere. We got into Facebook Live interviewed, and then we jumped in the car and drove back home listening to more podcasts, and then we went to sleep. Would you guys say that's a pretty damn ideal day? That is to us. Right? We also brought that car with 1 week's pay, and we managed to save a couple of $1,000s as well, just from 1 week's pay. We brought the car in cash and saved a couple of $1,000s. Why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you guys because remember how I was feeling in my reality 4.5 years ago? I took responsibility for keeping this opportunity alive every day for me and for my vision and for Bianca's vision and for my team's vision. I turned up. I didn't let life get in the way. I didn't let anything get in the way. Nothing. And it tried. It tried so hard to get in the way. Life will constantly try and get in the way. And I looked at it as tests of how bad I wanted it. How bad do you want it, Adam? This is a test. Pass the test, get to the next level. Every time I passed that test, got to the next level. Was it easy? No. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But you just keep going, right? So whatever your ideal day is, think about that. Keep that real in whatever way. Like I have a very vivid imagination. I'm blessed with a vivid imagination. I keep it real up here. A lot of people, some people aren't. So you need to put post-it notes maybe somewhere. You need to have a vision board. I've never needed a vision board. I've got a very real, raw, vivid imagination, and I constantly think about it. And I'm lucky in that regard. Some people may relate and go, yeah, I do too. Some people, you need reminding, whatever works for you to keep this opportunity real, because guys, this is it. It's just inside of this device. It can be so easily forgotten about when life's throwing all of these things at you. Would you guys agree? It can be easily forgotten about if you let it. And what you have in your hands is a vehicle, the vehicle, to take you to your ideal day every single day. I haven't crossed anything, and I can probably guess. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That you haven't crossed anything in your life that's better than this, that offers you time and financial freedom and abundance like this for helping and making a positive impact in other people's lives. Like I'm just going to guess it because I haven't come across anything that's better than this, that offered more than this. And so remember that. Remember what you have your hands on, and it is so worth remembering. It is so worth keeping it real in your life, because the outcome is just mind-blowingly abundant, right? And so guys, with that being said, do you guys feel present to the enormity of the opportunity that Isagenix provides right now? Do you feel connected to what you have your hands on? Chuck a yes in the chat if you feel like you're present to the abundance that comes with Isagenix, that comes with this business model of network marketing and what these products can provide people and what these products allow people to achieve. just a couple of tips. And why not share this stuff? Why not? This is what Bianca and I do. Why not? We wake up every morning and we cheers an e-shot. And the first thing we say is, can you believe that this e-shot is our business? Someone put their heart and soul into this product and we get to share it with others and make an income from that. Someone devoted their expertise to this product and we get to cheers it and savor it and share what we love about it, and we get paid for that. That's how we start our day every morning. And then we go into our personal gratitudes, right? We thank our friends. We thank you guys. We thank our team of people who love these products just as much as we do. We thank our house. We thank our money. We speak light into where we're going, what we want. We talk about the things that are right there, the goals that we're wanting to achieve right there. We talk about them in the morning, and we talk about it as if we've already achieved it. And then we cheers our e-shot and we knock it back, and that's how we start the day every day. We get present to what we have in our hands and we bring it to the forefront of our mind every day without fail. It's my favorite part of the day. And it happens right at the beginning, the moment we open our eyes. And it's even better when Bianca goes and gets the cold e-shot out of the fridge and I don't have to get out of bed. But that happens maybe once a month. And so how do you start your day? That's just a simple thing. If you guys want to take that on, go for it. Because it's the best. It's what's kept us. Well, it's not the only thing. Heaps of things have kept us in the game, but it's what's kept our day starting right every day. And we don't start it any other way. Right? There's been moments where we've tried to, or there's been moments when we don't have an e-shot. Yeah, we've run out of e-shots and stuff like that. There's, exceptions. But majority, we started out like that. Right? That's a way, that's a tip of keeping this at the forefront of your mind, at the forefront of your life, so that you're constantly present to it. If you don't have a partner that you can, if you're single or you've got a partner that doesn't want to cheers an e-shot, then do it to yourself. Or call up a friend. Call up one of the people in your team. You don't have to do it first thing in the morning every morning, but do it. Keep it alive, right? I look back on a moment where I was flatting with Isaac and Josh and Sam and Rach and B, obviously, and we were in a house together. This is years ago. And we didn't get much action done in that house. Like, I won't be wrong. Like, we farted around a bit. Me and Isaac farted, like literally farted a lot. We mucked around. We chatted. We chatted about our dreams. And the best part of what came out of that living together, because we were too busy talking about Isogenics, we weren't doing Isogenics. Like, that's the contrast. The best part was that we talked about it every day. All of us frothed on where we were going and what we had our hands on. All of us spoke it into existence. And there is so much power in doing that every day. There is so much power in frothing about this opportunity and getting excited and talking about it, right? We never let ourselves talk about lack. We never let ourselves talk about going backwards. We never let ourselves talk about what we didn't have. And a lot of us at that stage of our journey didn't have a heck of a lot, right? We were constantly arguing over who stole someone's Ionics, and like who stole someone's shakes. Like, that's how much we didn't have, right? But besides those many arguments of talking about who stole whose products and who nabbed someone's auto ship or whatever, besides that, we talked about the exciting things that we were living into. And I reckon I could bring any single one of them onto this call. And guys, please, like, you know who you are that in that flat, Joshy, Isaac, Rach, Sam, if you're on the call from England, please chuck into the chat whether or not every single one of those things that we talked about in that house has come true. Every single one of those things so far. I know there's more and we're still achieving them, but every single one of those things. Sam, yes, you are, Sam. Sam and I constantly talk about this. We say We constantly say nothing came of that house in terms of action, but everything leading on from when we all moved out and started to get into action, everything has come true. And that all of those things we spoke into existence has come true. So guys, how do you talk about your future? How do you talk about where you're going? Do you even talk about it? Do you talk about what you don't have? Or do you talk about where you're going with excitement and belief as if it's already happening? Because there is so much power in that. We are living proof of keeping it alive. We are living proof of when we were fighting over auto ships and what we didn't. Back then, there was no e-shots in the house. In fact, that's a lie. The only person who had e-shots was Isaac. He's the only one. Reason being was because he had more money than us and none of us could afford it. We couldn't afford to put e-shots in our auto ship, right? But we constantly talked about, we never spoke as if we had that lack. We never spoke as if we didn't have. We always spoke about where we were going and how excited we were about going there. And I believe that that is the reason why all of us are still here. That is the reason why all of us are still here, and we feel like we have solidified ourselves as leaders here in New Zealand. So guys, I hope that rant, I guess you could call it, or that spiel has provided some sort of value to you in terms of tips. Some of you guys may realize that you don't talk about your future in Isogenics. Some of you may realize that you just do it, but you never actually allow yourselves the enjoyment of the exciting feelings of where you're going. Some of you guys don't allow yourselves to believe. Some of you guys don't allow yourselves to think about it enough, because if you think about it, you'll want it. And if you want it and don't achieve it, you'll be disappointed. Some of you guys shy away from that because it's just not, you don't think that you've got it in you to do it. Some of you guys don't talk about your future because you don't think it's actually going to happen. Am I right in assuming that? Some of you guys don't talk about it with your friends. Some of you guys don't talk about it with your partner. Some of you guys could be sitting there and both of you and your partners are doing this, but you don't talk about it. You don't talk about it as exciting. You probably actually talk about what you're not good at. You probably actually talk about what you can't do. You probably talk about other people that are doing it and wonder how they're doing it, and you're constantly comparing and focusing outward on what you aren't good at and what you're not doing, and what you've missed out on, and what goal you didn't hit. I tell you, there is nothing good that will come of doing that. It's just a surefire. That's a quick way out the back door. That's the direct. If you're talking about that and you're focusing on that, that's the direction that you're walking in. You're walking out the back door, and your ideal day is behind you at the front door, and you're walking out the back if you're talking about that stuff. So this is me kind of taking myself into your mind and telling you that the only reason why I know that you're having those thoughts is because I once had them myself. And I caught myself and I realized that they are not serving me, and I'm walking out the back door. And I turned around in my mind and I started walking out the front door. And I called Sam, and I called Josh, and I called Isaac, and I said, let's go move into this mansion and let's talk about moving through the front door together. right? And so I'm not saying you have to go and do that, but what I'm saying is find your own version of that. Meet with the people, talk with your upline, talk with people who only want to talk about the exciting future that we're all living into. If any of you guys have had coffee with B and I, you know that that's all we talk about. If any of you guys have sat down with us, if we've come to your house or we've spent time with you, that's what we're talking about. Right? That's what we're talking about. We don't talk about what we're not doing. And we've had people try and we just, we nip it in the butt. Hey, don't say that about yourself. Don't say that. You can just as easily get good at the thing that you're saying that you're not good at, right? And I want to transition that straight into, and trust me, like you're going to need your pen and paper, so keep that handy. We're going to go through this, but I'm going to transition that straight into who in their right mind has the right to tell you that you cannot learn how to do this? Who in their right mind? No one. I'll tell you right now, no one has the right to tell you that you can't learn how to do network marketing. You can't learn the skills it takes to live your ideal day. No one has the right to tell you that. My dad said it to me. Some of you guys may have saw that post. You may have seen that post in the Pathway to Success business page about what my dad said to me in the beginning, within my first 15 hours of starting Isogenics. He told me that you won't make it work. You'll never get it off the ground, boy, he said. And in my mind, I didn't say this to him because I knew that there was no use in talking to someone who's being an idiot, because I'll just become one in that conversation. So in my mind, I got in my car away from his house and I got away from his negativity and I drove. And I said, what he is saying to me is that I don't have what it takes to learn how to share these products, talk about this opportunity, and talk to people and enroll them in a vision for their future on how to live their ideal day. That's what he's saying that I can't do. Of course I can get better at that. I may not be good at it right now, but I can get better at talking to people about these products. Heck yes, I can. I can get better at talking to people and sharing this opportunity. Heck yes, I can. And I can get really good at casting a vision for people around what's possible and how they can live their ideal day. Heck yes, I can. And the outcome of me learning those skills is that I get to live my ideal day every day. That's the outcome. I get to help a lot of people and live my ideal day. That's the outcome. So I'm saying this about my own life and using it as an example to also relay on to all of you guys that you can too. Who in their right mind has the right to tell you that you can't get good at sharing these products, that you can't get good at sharing this opportunity, and that you can't get better at casting a vision and helping people live their ideal day? Of course you can. That's what this is. That's the skills. Of course you can. You may be shy. You may be nervous to talk to new people, right? You may not have a big network right now. You may not know a lot of people. You may have a big network, but none of them you can see fitting into Isogenics. Can you learn how to meet new people? Yes or no? Yeah, you can. That's a skill. Yes, you can. The answer is yes, of course you can. Would it take some of you longer than others to learn that? The answer is yes. Yes, it will. It will take some of you longer to learn that skill than others. Is it worth comparing? No. No, not at all. Because other people will pick things up better and faster. Right? Can you learn how to share these products better and faster and more streamlined and become natural at it? Yeah. Will you start out natural? 99% of the time, no. Can you learn it? Yes. So your ideal day, when it all comes down, when I'm funneling this conversation into, is it's all possible. You've just got to be the one to bring it to light. You've just got to be the one to do the work. You've got to be the one to just take responsibility and say, I need to get better at this, 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 and this. I need to work on this. I suck at consistency. I talk negatively about what I do. I need to get better at it. Write a little list down and get clear on what you need to work on and the skills you need to develop, and then just work on those. Be consistent at it. Get clear on what you're good at and get clear on what you're not good at, right? And, keep strengthening your strengths and keep strengthening the things that you're not so strong at. That's how you'll move forward. Right, guys? So is there anything anyone would love to say about what I've just shared for the first wee while? Because I'm about to transition into to what's coming up in November and take you guys through everything that we've got to look forward to next month. Does anyone want to say anything or share anything? You don't have to.
Adam, how are you?
Annie, great.
Hey, babes. Love the beard. I just want to really point out how amazing it is that you move from such a place of pain, and that we are all doing the same thing. Like, no one moves from a place of pleasure. We're so comfortable, we're so happy in our life, and this is 100% where we want to be, and we have the financial income, we have the lifestyle we want, we have the dream day. Like, if we had all that, then we wouldn't be here. So I think it's such a powerful thing to share how you move from such a place of pain, and that where we are now is actually such a blessing in disguise, because it's going to totally accelerate and move us into where we need to be and where we want to be, and that should be our driver. So I just thought that was it's so great to hear that from you, and to see where you are now is just such a gift. And you got there from all of your love, and everyone that's ever met Adam in person knows that when you look into those big eyes, there's only love. And honestly, just so blessed to know you, man, and really appreciate you sharing.
Oh, thank you, Annie. Thank you so much. And yeah, when I look back on life 4.5 years ago and beyond, that reminds me of the beauty that is now. I wouldn't have it any other way. I learned so much about life in that moment, in those moments. And I learned so much about what I was capable of, even when I had nothing, and so it's a blessing. And now it gives me perspective. And so I know that for all of you guys, it's the same. And, thanks, Annie, for sharing that. I appreciate it. And guys, shall we go through what the big list of what's coming up in November? Because the context that I wanted to share this from is that, leading on from everything I just shared is, taking responsibility, is that there's a lot up for grabs in November. A lot up for grabs. And who's the only person that's going to be able to make it happen? Yeah, you are. It's your individual journey, your individual business. All of these things are to help you on your journey to living your ideal day every day. That's what Isagenix puts these things on for. That's why they release new products. That's why they put these incentives on, right? To help you keep everything at the forefront of your mind, keep your excitement at a 10 out of 10, and move into your journey with excitement, and give you something to strive towards, those little goals to help you with those stepping stones of moving towards your ideal day every day in your business. So you're the one. I'm the one. You're the one. I'm the one that needs to take responsibility for my business. You're the one that needs to take responsibility for yours, right? And so this is what's up for grabs. So guys, feel free to write this down as well. We've got a new seasonal catalog being released from November 1st. Okay, so all of these are going to be available for you to talk to people about, for you to inform your team about, and for you to really dig deep and spread the love and show people that you've got a mocha shake that's coming out in November from the 1st of November. So mocha flavored shake. You've got the salted caramel flavor coming out, and all of these are going to be sold until gone, right? You've got vanilla, almond, and cranberry flavored isoline bar. To me, that sounds freaking delicious. I love those combinations. So vanilla, almond, and cranberry isoline bar. You've got a new oil being released called Soothe. Right, you've got that being released on November 1st. And a mixed box of Isodelights with mint chocolate flavor as well. So you've got an Isodelight box, which will come with all the flavors, including chocolate mint. Right, and so those are going to be released from November 1st for you to talk to people about, for you to share with not only new people, but the people in your team. We also have, now this is going to be massive, okay? We have an enrollment incentive where if we enroll 10 people in November, 10 people over the month, starting from the 1st till the 30th, of 186 BV pack or more. So it can be an accumulation of just random products from 186, as long as it's an order over 186 BV. That's in New Zealand, and in Australia, 195 BV of products. Right, I hope you're writing this down. Then you will win a cocktail reception with Eric Worre at Celebration at the end of February over in Brisbane. Okay, so 10 enrollments will get you that cocktail reception at Celebration with Eric Worre. For those of you who don't know who Eric Worre is, he's the guy who wrote the book GoPro. He's the guy who's leading the leadership panel, and I believe he's closing out the event at Celebration. He is one of the best, if not the best, and the most awarded network marketing industry trainer in the world. He's a master trainer of network marketing, and we've got him. And I believe that Isagenix is the only company that he trains and presents at as a global network marketing trainer. He only trains at Isagenix conferences. Other than that, he trains on neutral platforms where all companies, network marketers from all companies come in, and he trains all people. But Isagenix is the only company which he personally goes and trains at. Now that's saying something for a guy as renowned in this industry. And so we've got him coming to Brisbane. Right now, if you stretch it even further in November and you enroll 12 people, this is going to be huge. This is going to be something that B and I are going to gun down, and I'm going to tell you guys how we're going to do it. Right? But if you get 12 people enrolled on 186 BV New Zealand or 195 BV in Australia, if you get 12 people enrolled over November, over that month, you'll get free accommodation paid for by Isagenix in Brisbane at the Ridges Hotel, which is at the event. Like you don't even have to leave the floor of your hotel. You just walk out across the little patio and boom, you're in the event. It's amazing, right? And that's going to save people hundreds. Reason being is because when B and I win it, right, and when you guys all win it, we're going to just be packing out our floor. We're going to be packing it out, with team members who, didn't essentially, maybe just got started with new people that we're bringing along, right? Some of us in the team have already stayed there, right? But guys, that will save you hundreds, and it'll allow you to pack your team out and save them accommodation costs as well. So that's 12 enrollments, okay? So that's one thing. The last thing before I go into tell you how to plan and set yourself up for those 12 enrollments is there's a welcome back campaign. Okay, that's being released on the 1st of November. And what this welcome back campaign is you get the new people that you get started, they get a free 12-month membership, right? Saving them $22. They get 10% off their first order, all of November, 10% off their first order they get a coupon for their second order. So they get a coupon for their auto ship, okay, to take money off of their auto ship. And get this, anyone in your team that has maybe gone inactive over the last 12 months, if they re-enroll on a new pack, they get their position back in the tree. So they don't have to enroll at the bottom of the tree. There's an incentive for them to be a part of this campaign, right? The details of how that's going to work will be relayed in a flyer that Isagenix will release probably closer to November 1st, but they get their position back in the tree. Now, what I would love to get clarity on, and I'm not sure of, is whether or not that accounts for terminated people. There's a difference between terminated accounts and inactive accounts. Terminated is when they haven't placed an order in over 12 months. They get terminated, and that's where you will see, if you've been in long enough, you'll see a circle in your tree. It's not a inactive square, right? So we're going to, all of that stuff, you don't even need to worry about that. All of that will be clarified in the flyer, right? And I think, what has Josh written there? That Josh has written, that promotion is only for customers who have already gotten started before. That's right. So I think I was saying new customers. So that welcome back campaign, obviously in the name of it, it's for any customers who have previously gotten started and gone inactive. And more details will be on that. But that is coming. All of that I just mentioned, that I hope you guys have written down, is coming in November, being released on November 1st. Right? Yes, Harriet. November has never looked so good. Exactly. So, guys, this is all going to lead us perfectly into the Christmas and New Year period, and advice on how to structure yourselves to get these 12 enrollments happening. Right? Yes, and UIA, of course. Right? Isaac and everyone did a great team call on the importance of getting to UIA last week, so I won't double up on that. But yes, obviously, if you're serious about this and you're serious about living your ideal day every day and you want to take this big, UIA is the best belief-building event in the network marketing spectrum that Isagenix has got. It's the best, right? And take Bridie and Bryce's beautiful story and example that they posted in the page as a reflection of what's possible over a 12-month period after what you learn and utilizing what you learn from UIA. But guys, it's 9:58. I've got 2 minutes, and I just want to request that please stay on if I go over time by 1 or 2 minutes, because I want to fill you guys in on the best way to set yourself up for these 12 enrollments, right? First things first is to understand your numbers. If you need to enroll 12 people, who's someone that knows their numbers? Typically, how many people will you need to speak to over those 12, over that month? So every 1 in 10, yes, Callum? So yes, Sam and Han, 120 people minimum if you want to get those 12 enrollments. You need to speak to 120 new people. Now, if there's 30 days in that month, then okay, that 120 people in a month can probably sound a little bit daunting to some people. But here's how you break it down. Someone please bring their calculator out. And okay, awesome, Corin, love it. Okay, sweet. So Corin just wrote 4, which is the answer, right? So you want to go 120 divided by 30, which is how many people you need to speak to every day. That's 4 new people minimum every day. If you want to make it a sure thing, go for 5. If you want to knock it out of the park, go for 6. Right? The more that you do every day, the better. Right? And the way that I do it is I have a list. I have my list. It's my master list. And I have a highlighter and I label out, and I sometimes I like to pick and choose. It's not just straight down the list sometimes, but I just count it off every day. I make sure I do my 10. I do my 10. It takes literally it takes me less than half an hour to send out those 10 messages to people. And then I spend that day following up. I spend that day in the conversations with them and talking to people that I had spoken to previously, warming them up into what Isagenix is, warming them up into the opportunity, warming them up into these products, and warming them up in the conversation, right? That's what I do in my follow-up. And by the end of the month, the numbers work. But that's how we rock. Any of you guys that understand ISA Derby, that's how we rock out Derby, right? Is we just work the numbers and we just let our consistency take us across the line, right? And so you have your list, you understand how many people you need to speak to, you highlight them off in whatever system you've got in your follow-up system, and you knock it off, boom, 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 and you just hit your numbers every day. And all of a sudden, the end of November will be around and you'll be like, wow, I enrolled 12 or more people. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know I had it in me. And it's not that everyone's got it in them. You just got to hit those numbers, because every 1 in 10 people that you speak to will be ready to get started. Right? And okay, guys, so I hope that the beginning of the call was enough emphasis for you to take responsibility for November and what's available, right? I hope that you guys have or see the importance of speaking light and speaking possibility into your future, right? Speaking into what you're heading towards, speaking into the abundance that's awaiting you. It is so important, because if you're not speaking about that, then what are you speaking about? If you're not speaking about that, then you're either speaking about the mundane of the stagnation, right? And I'm not saying every time. I'm talking just in the realm of your business. You're either speaking about where you're stuck at, or you're speaking about what you're not good at. So choose to speak light into where you're going. Choose to speak possibility into where you're going. Choose to constantly speak positively about your future, and watch what happens. Watch what you step into. Watch who you become in every day when you do that. You cannot be angry. You cannot be sad when you're constantly talking about things that excite you. It's so simple. And I know that makes sense. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, lots of love. Thank you for blessing me with your time and your presence. Thank you for being with me over this hour on this call. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for allowing me the platform to share my heart and to share my passion. I really, really appreciate it. Go out there and crush your week as we lead into the last week of October. And let's smash out November together and solidify that accommodation, solidify that cocktail party with Eric Worre, crush all of those seasonal catalog formulations, and get all those products out into as many hands as possible. And let's just absolutely crush this journey, guys, and finish 2018 with a freaking bang. All right, lots of love, guys. We'll chat to you soon.
Thank you, Adam.
Cheers, Adam.
No worries, guys.
Thanks, mate. It was incredible.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Adam.
No worries. See you, legends.